Hello friends, and welcome to Jocelyn's Twilight Years, how to be a really old model. I'm sitting in a new way. This is a perfectly natural way for me to sit. It doesn't look normal, and I realise in all my YouTube videos I'm sitting cross-legged, which is quite weird because I quite often sit like this, and I didn't realise it until I was working with a photographer, hello Gam, last week, and he noticed and said he should photograph me sitting like that because it was natural to me and I hadn't noticed before. It is natural to me. I like it. This isn't relevant to you. Sorry. This month I am in Edinburgh at the moment touring, and I have an unexpected day off, which means I suddenly have energy to do many things. The main thing I'm doing with my time off at the moment, which means it's not time off, is I am writing a memoir about how I went from a secretly kinky Jehovah's Witness child and teenager into becoming a BDSM model. I'm enjoying writing it very much, and one of the reasons I'm enjoying it so much is because it's reminding me of my very strange journey into this wonderful world I now find myself in. I have just been downloading various videos from the beginning of my career, and one thing has fascinated me, that I was bloody awful at my job early on. So I've just been watching my second ever spanking film that I was in with my dear friend and spanking godfather, Dallas Spanks Hard, who I absolutely adore. He helped me get into this industry and he's always been an amazing, supportive friend. And I thought I'd been quite a good friend to him until I watched the bloody first video we made together, and I'm a nightmare. I'm a high maintenance, crying, whining, bratty nightmare because I was just so overwhelmed by the experience. I couldn't do a very good job. He keeps telling me to keep my head up so that the camera can see my face. I can't do it because I have no technique. And the reason that I find this particularly interesting is because I've been doing spanking modelling for over 10 years now, just over 10 years. And I just won 2 categories in the Spanking Awards, which is run by my splendid friend John Osborne of AAA Spanking. I won Best Female Spanky, which was a great and wonderful honour, but I have to admit that even more satisfying was winning Best Facial Expression. Especially because looking back at my early work, I realise that my facial expressions were not great, in part because you couldn't see my face, because I was burying my face in sofas and cushions and people, because obviously I didn't have enough good technique to keep my head up while I was dealing with unprecedented amounts of pain. But in the 10+ years since I started spanking modelling, I have tried very hard when I'm doing these things which I love so much to make sure that my responses read so that the audience watching at home can hopefully enjoy the scene as much as I am, which is always considerable. So I thought I would show you a little of my repertoire of spanking faces. Obviously, to begin with, there has to be potential brattiness and disgust and disbelief that any such thing might be happening to you, followed by possibly fear or trepidation or anxiety. And then for the actual spanking faces, I think there's anticipation face, which we have to use a lot for all the shots where no spanking is actually happening, but it looks as though spanking is about to happen. And my only anticipation face, I'm afraid, I only have the one, is this. And you'll be able to see me if you Google my spanking name, Amelia Jane Rutherford. You will see a lot of this. Because I do it all the time. So thank you for still letting me win the award, even though my face is just this for about half the pictures. Then there are impact faces, various expressions of pain. This is one of my favourites. Although I've discovered if you wear false eyelashes in a spanking shoot, if you screw up your eyes, which I always do, the false eyelashes will eventually fall off. So at first I thought I could maybe stop myself screwing up my eyes, but it turns out I can't. So now I just don't wear false eyelashes at spanking shoots because of that face. Also this face, which is my open eye variant on this face. And I do them a lot. But I think that those are quite basic facial expressions, and I think there are some more advanced facial expressions for spanking that it's useful to develop and put into your repertoire. There's wounded pride, which I think is very important mid-spanking, dignified disdain, and maximum disagreeableness, which I used to do a lot. I don't tend to play quite such disagreeable characters anymore, but back early on when I was less comfortable with playing consensual roles, I think I had to go down the route of being quite the pantomime of hate in spanking shoots. And obviously there is capitulation. And crying, which I don't always do, but if the producer wants me to, I normally can make it happen, and if it's unusually either painful or if the scene just particularly appeals to me, then I can quite often cry as well. I can't face crying at you today though, because I'm feeling really happy. So that was a short list of examples of some of my repertoire of spanking faces. If you have a spanking face that you think I've missed out, please post it below in the comments. Can you do that? I don't know. Probably not, because if you could, people would put dick pics down there, wouldn't they? They probably would. So I will be back in a month with another Jocelyn's Twilight Years. I am sorry that I am likely to make slightly shorter videos for the next month because writing my book is taking considerable amounts of energy and time. I have a newfound extra respect for people who actually get books published. It is a considerable effort. FYI, members of my family work in publishing, most notably my sister, who is a novelist and also works as a freelance editor. Hello, Amy. I have newfound respect for you. I always respected you, even when I was borrowing your clothes when I was 10. Especially then. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.